Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. This layout is one that started with a bit of mixed media. Actually, I don't think I would even call it mixed media. It's a bit of ink smushing, packaging technique, whatever you call it, on my background paper. So I'm just starting out with some regular cardstock, and I'm using some distress ink. So I'm using picked raspberry, spun sugar, and I think cracked pistachio is what I use. Um, yeah, that's what I used. I had to look it up. And I'm just putting it on a piece of like scrap acetate that I have, and I'm spraying it with my mini mister, and my mini mister just has water in it, and I'm just smushing it onto my paper. And I didn't do any gessoing. I'm really lazy that way, I don't know. I don't feel like it does make a difference when you gesso, but I mean, for me, it's not a huge deal. I just put it in my album, and all is well. And I don't really think twice about it, which is, I don't know. I guess it's okay. It doesn't bug me too much. So I'm just creating a bit of like abstract smushing, and I dried in between a few times with my heat gun. And then I'm going on to add some Heidi Shine in, what did I use? The hot pink, and I also use the color shine in the gold. And that pretty much makes up the my background. And I dry it in between before I do anything else. Then I'm using this cut file from the Cut Shop, and it's really cool. I really like this one, and I've had it cut for a little while. If you guys recall, I was briefly on their design team um, back last summer, and I had to remove myself from the design team because I got pregnant and I was really sick, and I couldn't keep up. Um, and I have a toddler too, so as you could probably imagine, it was a little difficult for me, but whatever. But it's been sitting on my desk, and I stare at it all the time, and I just love it. It's just concentric um, hearts, and I love it. So I finally decided to add it to my um, one of my layouts. What am I trying to say today? Jeez. Um, and the picture that I'm using is of my 2-year-old daughter, and we went for frozen yogurt, and she really enjoyed herself, as any kid would. But we're sitting there where she was eating her ice cream and or her frozen yogurt, and I said, "Babe, look at the camera." She looked at me, and I snapped a picture, and I liked it. I liked the way it turned out. So I just made it black and white since the background was already busy enough as it is. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. And Yeah, so I just made it black and white, so it didn't really interfere too much with the colors of the background, because I really wanted the background to be predominant, and as well as the picture, and I just didn't want them to compete at all. So I made one black and white, and one is very vibrant in color. So there, my tape gun, my ATG gun, gives me a hard time as always. I have a love-hate relationship with that thing, and I just pull out the wet glue, and it's fine. After layering all the papers behind the picture, I just took some fun foam, and I just got this from Michael's. It's just plain white fun foam, and I just cut some down, and I put it behind the picture just to give it some dimension. I find that that's a very useful trick, because when I use like pop dots or foam dimensionals, it just, you use a lot of them, but this way your entire picture has support, and I like using it now. So I think it's Jennifer McGuire that I got that tip from, one of her videos in her cards, when she makes cards. So I'm going through oh, I didn't tell you what paper collection I'm using. I'm using the American Crafts Dear Lizzie Happy Place. So I'm using the 6x6 paper pad, and that's what I use to mat the pictures. And the ephemera from the pack I'm using, as well as the accent stickers. let's see. Yeah, those are the accent stickers right there. There's a lot of things that aren't really relative to the picture, but I kind of like them, so I just stuck them on there. It's colorful enough. So I'm just going to do some quick layering. I'm not going to go nuts with the ephemera because I really want that background to shine through and be the predominant feature of the layout apart from the picture, guys, right? So I don't want to congest the whole layout with just ephemera on top of ephemera. So I really like that die cut that said heck yes. So yeah, and I play around with those acetate balloons that die cut there. It gets shifted around my layout a lot, and I use it and I want to use it, and then I put it back, and then but finally I decide to stick it down at some point. You'll see. And I have a hard time removing the acetate. I don't know why I didn't cut this out, but oh man, for the life of me, I can't remove acetate off of pieces. So I just use a bit of wet glue to adhere it down. And really, guys, the glue doesn't dry entirely see-through, but it really doesn't bother me to have it kind of peeking through, because if someone's going to point at your layout and say, oh my gosh, I could see your glue, they've got bigger problems. So really, it doesn't bother me. So I just use I don't use hot glue. I use wet glue. So from the die cut phrases, I picked out a die cut that said cool, and that's in that really nice aqua color that matches with the background. And I'm just pulling out some October Afternoon Mini Market stickers, and these are in the blue and cream. They're not even really a true blue. They're more of a like a minty blue. So they match really nicely with the background, the Distress Ink, the cracked pistachio that I used, and as well as the die cut phrase. And now with the thickers, they are the cutest thickers ever. They're in Lullaby, and they're a chunky, like aqua-ish glitter. They're so pretty. I really, really love them. And I'm just placing a few more pieces. And what am I doing? Yeah, I think this, for the most part, is the background. I also decide that it needs a bit of an anchor, and so I pull out a yellow piece of cardstock, and I mount the entire layout on the piece of cardstock, and it just anchors everything down, and as you'll see in the final pictures. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for your support. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and give my video a thumbs up. Yeah, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.